So when a player chooses to become a student athlete at Boston College and receives a scholarship, and now depending on the sport, there are some sports have more scholarships than others.
Mm-hmm.
Under what circumstances then does the student, having committed, be able to keep that scholarship? Are there times where they will lose the scholarship because of academics or other disciplinary behavior and things like that?
So when there's a commitment made to a student about a scholarship, that commitment is really seen through the student's graduation. Are there situations or bad decisions a student could make that could cause them to lose that scholarship? Absolutely, and you reference one. If they decide they don't want to attend class, for example, if they violate the student code of conduct for the university, they could risk losing their scholarship. So there are certain examples where a scholarship could be pulled. They cannot be athletically related reasons. In other words, if a coach makes a bad decision on whether a student athlete is good enough athletically here, we can't pull, and that student doesn't work out, we can't pull that scholarship. Whenever there is a scholarship pulled at any institution, including Boston College, that student has a right to a hearing by a panel of non-athletic department employees across the university, so they can present their case, and that panel can make a decision on whether they would support the athletic department's decision to pull that scholarship or not.
Could they quit the sport and still retain the scholarship?
It's not likely, but again, if they quit, they still have the right to a hearing, and they could present their case, and the panel may decide in their favor.
And what if players are injured once they do attend? Is that that medical insurance and the like provided, and medical care provided by the institution?
Yeah, so if a student is injured and can no longer continue their athletic career, it's called a medical hardship by the NCAA. It's signed off on by the team doctors, and they retain their scholarship through graduation.
And I think more recently, where I read the story, and it was a great story, is that one of the walk-ons had ultimately obtained a scholarship through his hard work and his performance here. Under what circumstances do you guys decide that the walk-on gets a scholarship? Because that was a really that was a great story, and it was a great thing for Boston College to do, and it obviously meant a lot to the young man and his parents when I read the story.
Yeah, that was a great story, and certainly a tribute to that particular student and his work ethic and his commitment to the program and the institution. It really is a matter of what the coaches feel in terms of the students, as well as the number of scholarships they have available. So if a coach has scholarships available, rather than sign someone coming in from high school to that scholarship, they may choose to give it to someone already in the program who's certainly earned that.
It was very impressive, actually, because you know we would have played anyway. You know we loved the experience. You didn't have to do it. And it said something about the integrity of the institution and the coaches to have done that.
And the symbolism of honoring the values of performance that you really are striving to instill in all of your students.
How many of the student athletes end up going on to professional sports? Do we keep that statistic?
It's a pretty healthy number relative to the percentages, because if you look at the national numbers, there are very few that have opportunities to go. And it's predominantly in our most visible sports: football, basketball, hockey. We have some baseball players and some soccer players. We have a soccer player that played for the U.S. in the World Cup last year. There's a handful that we have here, and again, this is really a tribute to the type of students that are attracted to Boston College. They're getting this incredible degree, and they're competing at the highest level of amateur athletics.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and the leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.